since you're closely working with IIT Kanpur, how mindset among the younger lot who are working towards entrepreneurship, brainstorming on the startup ideas.
So in India, the mindset always have been contract manufacturing for a long period of time. We were always profit oriented, not wealth oriented. The current generation is actually looking towards more creating wealth or converting knowledge to wealth.
Talking about Kanpur and Uttar Pradesh, what are the opportunities that are lying, from the government side also, and if we talk about the mindset among the public as well?
So yes, traditionally it has been always an industrial town. It's now changing towards an entrepreneurial town. And for that, a lot of the credit goes to the UP government, specifically in building infrastructure, enabling the people who are coming with startup ideas. The start in UP, then invest UP. Then many UP Expressways and Industrial Development Authority is making a lot of expressways which improve the logistics connectivity. So that kind of a mindset change is also happening in UP, specifically in and around Kanpur. A lot of the old-timers who are actually in the traditional industry has now moved towards supporting startup, working with startups, promoting.
Which sector is actually booming in terms of startups, entrepreneurship?
So if you ask in UP specifically, in UP, the UP Defence Corridor has put in a lot of emphasis. There's only two defence corridors in India, one in South, which is Tamil Nadu, and another is in UP. And the UPDA has done a phenomenal job of creating infrastructure, enabling connectivity, supporting ideas, building critical test infrastructure, designing infrastructure, etc. in this regard. They collaborate a lot with IIT Kanpur in this regard. I usually tell people in one way is that one of the best teacher in the world is failure. So as long as you have the courage to get up after a day, you will do phenomenally.
Hello and welcome to Tycon UP podcast series. I am Sukshim Sharma, your host for today, as I'm joined by dignitaries who are shaping the future of startups ecosystem in India. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Deepu Philip. I am a professor at IIT Kanpur in the Industrial and Systems Engineering Department. I'm also the professor in charge of the Incubation and Innovation Ecosystem, and also the professor in charge of the Technopark, which is the accelerator of the IIT Kanpur.
Thank you so much, sir. So to start with, since you're closely working with IIT Kanpur, I would really like to understand how the mindset among the younger lot who are working towards entrepreneurship, brainstorming on the startup ideas, how's the mindset there?
A very good question. I will start with a question that I usually ask people. Everybody knows the world's largest air force is US Air Force. But which is the second largest air force? People usually say China, Russia, all those kind of things. The answer to that question is US Navy. They have 11 aircraft carriers, 100 aircraft per carrier, about 1,000 aircraft floating in the ocean. And that's what wealth does to you. Makes you superpower, right? And where did they amass that much of wealth? That came from their entrepreneurial mindset, where we talked about Microsoft. At some point of time, Microsoft was a small startup in a garage that actually taken to this far. So in India, the mindset always have been contract manufacturing for a long period of time. We take the license or know-how from somebody, manufacture it at a cheap price, sell it, and make profit. We were always profit-oriented, not wealth-oriented. The current generation is actually looking towards more creating wealth or converting knowledge to wealth. So in an academic institutions, if you look at the foreign academic institutions and Indian academic institutions, for that matter, IITs are on par with any foreign institutions in the process of creating knowledge, which is research, and disseminating knowledge, which is research. And teaching, sorry. But in the job of converting knowledge to wealth, translating knowledge to wealth, Indian institutes actually fall far behind the foreign counterparts because they have a much better ecosystem of startups which converts or translates their knowledge to wealth. Now the Indian academia is catching up in this regard.
Right. Talking about Kanpur and Uttar Pradesh, what are the opportunities that are lying, from the government side also, and if we talk about the mindset among the public as well, because we have seen a lot of entrepreneurs, coming from this state, from this city, and doing a great job in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship?
Uh, good, good question. And one way to think about it is, in the world, there is China, India, US, Indonesia. The fifth most populous place is Uttar Pradesh. Yeah. So, and people say that has caused problems, that has these issues, all those kind of things. But there are also a lot of opportunities. Each problem is also an opportunity for you to address it, improve the standard of living, make money, grow the economy, and etc. Right. Now, I'm originally from Kerala, and I ended up in working in IIT Kanpur, right? And that's because of the world-class ecosystem that IIT Kanpur offers for my type of research, and the the flat ecosystem where I can collaborate with people. And more than that, also, uh, UP is, for that matter, is a citadel of lot of India's cultural growth. I mean, I sometimes jokingly says, you put fried wheat in the soil, it'll grow because it's so fertile of a land, right? And if you look into it, after Pimpiri Chinchwad, Kanpur is also one of the most or money generating area in the country. So yes, traditionally it has been always an industrial town. Okay, it's now changing towards an entrepreneurial town, and for that a lot of the credit goes to the UP government, specifically in building infrastructure, enabling the people who are coming with startup ideas. The start in UP, then invest UP, then many UP expressways and industrial development authorities making a lot of expressways which improve the logistics connectivity. So the uh, movement of people, because at the end of the day, it's people. Human beings are the ones who do this, right? And a story I always tell people is, when USSR disintegrated, the lot of educated Jews in USSR, Russia, and they all decided to go back to Israel. And Israel had a problem. What will we do with these man of people? So then Israel created like a $2 billion fund and told them, here is some amount of money. You start working on whatever idea you have and build an startup or build an entrepreneurial venture, and let's see where it goes. You wouldn't be surprised that 2 billion currently is probably like 2 trillion. Right? So that kind of a mindset change is also happening in UP, specifically in and around Kanpur. A lot of the all-timers who are actually in the traditional industry has now moved towards uh, supporting startups, working with startups, promoting them.
Right. So you talked about the opportunities that are there in the state. If I talk about sector wise, what is which one is the most booming one in the coming future also and right now also? Which sector is actually booming in terms of startups, entrepreneurship?
So if you ask in UP specifically, I mean, everybody says every sector is booming. In UP, the UP defense corridor has put in a lot of emphasis. There's only two defense corridor in India, one in south, which is Tamil Nadu, another is in UP. And the UPIDA has done a phenomenal job of creating infrastructure, enabling connectivity, supporting ideas, building critical test infrastructure, design infrastructure, etc. In this regard, collaborating. The Lord collaborate a lot with IIT Kanpur in this regard, and the government acting as an enabler has helped in pushing the startups to or pushing the opportunities in this realm, which is accelerating the growth in this domain. Another is the medtech related work that's happening in UP. That's YEDA work, and I'm quite sure that they are uh, the opportunities there for drug discovery, because in India an example is, we are more considered as a pharmacy of the world, generic drugs, but UP is also leading the innovation in first in human drugs, novel molecules. So that, like an example, I give numbers like the total the generic pharma market in India is like $30 billion a year, and one drug, Ketuda, is 38 billion. So that's the potential of the market.
Right. We talked about the positive sentiment and the positive, perspective about how we are getting the opportunities from the government side also and local level as well. Are there any also, areas of improvement also when we talk about, providing opportunities and being the enabler for all these startups?
Obviously, skilling will be one thing because a lot more of the skills, but the traditional skills, that you need people with, instead of having one specific skill, you need people with multiple skills, multi-skill oriented, and dealing, learn people to deal with data-driven decisions specifically. Then the third part also is the awareness about the sustainability or eco-friendly development, because we cannot do the myopic exploitation mode. More than that, how do we do something which actually is green? It doesn't take the opportunities from the future generations. It doesn't hamper the environment. These aspects. Also, more than that, the awareness of people generally about how do I grow, become, I am part of this state, I am part of this country. How do I take pride in that? And how do I work towards, tirelessly towards making it the next superpower? So that is one another aspect.
Absolutely. Just to sum it up the whole conversation, sir, one message that you would like to give to the audiences who are listening, be it the investor side, be it the startup side, be it the younger generation who are, aspiring to be entrepreneurs one day? Any one message?
So I usually tell people in one way is that one of the best teacher in the world is failure. And the only one thing that can fail yourself is if you fall down, you need to learn how to get up. And the current generation sometimes have that habit of not getting up. That's okay. You can fail, you learn from it, get up. And if you get up, success is yours. So startups also, if you fail, that's okay. You learn from your failure, find out what the mistakes are, correct them, move forward. You will get it done. Right? And I always tell, when I go to this class, I tell the students to teach is a word of arrogance. It's a learning. My students are also my teachers. My startups are also, they keep me on my toes, telling that, sir, this is a problem for me. Now I need to learn how to get there. So as long as you have the courage to get up after you fail, you will do phenomenally well.
Absolutely. Well said, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was IIT Kanpur's perspective on the conversation of entrepreneurship, the ecosystem, how it's growing, what are the opportunities that are available for the aspiring founders of, next generation. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us. Thank you so much.